morning, good afternoon, good evening, or dead of night as it may be. Welcome to the United States Grand Prix here in Austin, Texas. You're listening to the Race Statistics channel, and this is Crash with you with our live coverage of the race itself. I gotta do my obligatory yeehaw because we are in the state of Texas. I am living in the state of Texas. I am north of Austin. I'm basically north of Dallas, basically. So, yeah, yesterday I got rain and Austin did it, and Austin's not getting rain at all this weekend. So it's been hot all weekend long. Like right now, air temperature is 81. It could be actually higher. It could be actually up closer to 30 degrees. The air temperature will get hotter as this race goes on. The track temperature is 45.2 degrees. I mean, it's you can fry eggs out there on that track, everyone. But that's Texas for you. I'm gonna tell you, like 40 degree, 30 degree, up to 40 degree, that 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. I mean, that's over 100 degrees here in Fahrenheit. That's common for here in Texas. So, um, yeah, I'm like looking at the temperature and like, no, no, what's the big deal? This is normal for Texas. We're about 6 minutes before we get to the formation lap at the moment. See you guys saying hi to me right now. Good evening, your Crash. It's good at it's just afternoon for me right now. Right now, it is windy today. Extremely windy, and unfortunately, the wind direction is different. It was going south, southeast, in southeast, easterly. It's now going westerly today, so it's a different direction than we had the previous 2 days. So, how that is going to mess with the drivers and how we shall see. I mean, that may have been part of the reason why Isaac had an issue in quali yesterday. Again, we also have the what's going to happen on that lap one, turn one. And that is going to be a big question. I mean, yesterday we saw, a huge incident between, I think there was like five drivers involved. Alonso, Hulkenberg, Oscar, and Norris were involved. Technically, Yuki was involved because he um, picked up Alonso's wing, and then halfway through the next section, it flew off. So, do you think he's going to get a fantastic lead into turn one? It's going to be Max. That's the same thing what happened with the sprint races. Max got a good jump, got ahead of everyone, and was able because of that get away from the fray. And another bot in here. Physics got that. So yeah, over in Twitch chat and being how I'm doing. I'm doing well. I'm doing extremely well. For those who don't know, I'm from New England, and right now the New England Patriots are playing Tennessee Titans. There's history between those two teams with our head coach having been previously at the Tennessee Titans. So there's history. Also, the Patriots are doing extremely well, much better than anyone expected. So enough American football for you guys. Just know the Patriots are winning by a lot right now, and that will make things easier for me. Right now, what you got? Fine, right. Mikey pointing out the 500 races with the Mercedes AMG safety car. That includes it as Mercedes AMG and both Mercedes Benz. So, do you stream the race or just the time? Though we do commentary. We do not show the stream. We do not show F1 TV in that regards. That would be illegal for us to do so. But we're a watch along. Like basically, Gentile, think of me sitting on the couch with you as we watch. I thank everyone who's in YouTube chat, like Shay, Pola, Mayaki, Sly. I know Scott's in there. Who else? If you're green, point up. You're part of the family. These are people who are throwing a few bucks each month. Help keep things running. There's some cost to do this. Making sure our streams, our internet connection is good and whatnot. Everyone else who have subscribed, we're about 24 away from hitting 147K. So that's a progression there on YouTube chat right now. Of note, Stroll did get a 5 place drop, but I think Isaac, because he didn't qualify, uh, get is back at the back of the grid by default. So thought that it might have been a grid, given how Isaac didn't qualify, didn't put us at time. Suspected that they might break part Ferme and do a pit lane start, but apparently he's starting on the grid. Albon is 18th. He got a lap time deleted, and that dropped him back out of the top 10. Ocon is 7th. Borello is 16th. Colapino is 15th. Gasly's 14th. Sonoda only qualified 13th. And he blames it on Lawson screwing up his lap. Lawson denies that. He's 12th. Hulkenberg is 11th. Alonso is 10th. Sainz 9th. Bierman 8th. Anthony 7th. Oscar only gets up to start 6th on the third row with Hamilton, who's 5th. Russell's 4th with Leclerc 3rd. And we got Norris 2nd. Max on pole. So we shall see how things go. Got Matt Steve in chat, one of our subscribers over there. He's from Kansas in the McLaren Nation. Ooh, we'll see how things go, my friend. McLaren's not looking as good as they beginning of the season. Football on the TV, race on this computer. Pizza on the way. It's a good day. Look it right now. Friday P5, P3, P3, P5 was kind of surprised. Yeah, I mean that is a bit of it's where Ferrari should be, but it is a surprise because they haven't been there consistently all season long. Now, F1 just did something with there's a arbitration standards. No one up there set forth something for Louis Vuitton. It looks like a big, like a like a Game of Thrones type of style chair. Did I also get punished? Points. I was like, no, he did not get point because he only he was his was just a crash with by himself. Stroll did get points on his license because his incident warrant it was a collision. He caused a collision with another driver, Ocon specifically, and we have hit the start of the formation lap. It is now 2:00 p.m. track time, Central Time, which is my time as well. We are starting the formation lap. Max right now is starting in Sector 2. They're still rolling off the line in Sector 1. Shay, who's Eleanor? What are you talking about? That's anyway. Sure, we're still waiting on Max right now, in the middle of Sector 2 on that formation lap. So it'll be about a minute or so before they get back all to the line and set up for the start of this race. Can we have a vote for not too late now? We should have done that like 10, 15 minutes ago to do that type of poll. Now, still on the formation lap at the moment. TKO here in chat. Matt Steve here in chat. Got Zanak in chat over on Twitch. Thank you so much, my friend. Welcome back for those who are in Twitch chat. Thank everyone who's watching on YouTube. Over almost several thousand of you already have arrived. That will expect that to continue as the race goes on. Turn 1 carnage, very possible. Given yesterday was just a sprint race. Ooh, they're going to go probably even harder on turn 1 this time. Things in play here. Max is on the outside of Max is on the outside of he lined up on the outside, and Lando's lined up on the inside. So that's gonna probably more likely Max is gonna get away like he did yesterday. Again, that took out, Norris and Oscar were closer to the front. So there will very much likely be some sort of chaos on that first lap. So that's why. Why are they stopped? They're lining up on the start finish line. They are lined up. 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Yeehaw, we're racing in Austin, everyone. So Max, as I expected, got a nice jump. Leclerc is upside by, he went far, Leclerc went far wide. So far, clean lap 1, turn 1. So Max is ahead. Leclerc is going to get ahead of Norris. Max has got a good car and a half length lead. Leclerc is second. Norris is third. Hamilton fourth. Oscar fifth. Russell has dropped 2 places. Alonso has dropped a place. Lawson has dropped a place. Colpino and Borrello have dropped places. And Albon has dropped a place so far on this lap. But Max has got almost a second ahead of Leclerc. Of tires right now, everyone's on medium except for Leclerc, who's on a used soft tire. Borrell and Stroll are on new soft tires, and Albon and Isaac are on new hard tires. So that we've got a few different strategies in here, Leclerc being one of those. And Max has already gotten a second ahead as they go into Sector 2. We got a yellow flag. See if it resolves itself. And it has. So it looks like Albon went off track. He's back on track. He's now further back. His gap is now like 5 seconds. He's lost several seconds. But that yellow flag has been resolved, and it is now fully green right now. For those who are in Twitch chat, we do have a prediction for today. Who will win today? Over on YouTube, we had a question of who won the race. 75% you think Max, 10% Norris, 8% Leclerc, and 7% thought were someone else. We are now lap 2 right now. Max has got a second and a half lead over Leclerc as he leads this race so far. Leclerc is basically leading a DRS train at this point. Everyone's still in DRS range. That should break up. Antonelli just dropped out of DRS range to his teammate. So they're starting. The only exception is Albon, who looks like went off track at some point around turn 12. He's now almost 6 seconds back behind Isaac, who's so he's far back out of reach of the main group at this point. Dylan in chat saying the dream is finishing Max P1 and then the 2 Ferraris P2, P3, and what that means that Norris and Oscar are at 4th and 5th at best, which means Max is going to make a huge jump over the McLarens this weekend. He's already got 8 points on them from the sprint race. If those are asking about fastest lap, I just remind you that fastest lap no longer gives you a point this year. While Max has the fastest lap, I mean, it is just for more bragging rights at this point. And then him also having fastest lap also means he's gaining on everyone else. And he's already 1.7 ahead of Leclerc. Seeing some sub-sectors being won by Hamilton, first sector. Second sector, Oscar has the fastest sector. Again, Max has a 1.6, 1 point, it's jumping between 1.5, 1.7. He's still gaining. He's still gaining. And this is interesting. Max is on new medium tires and Leclerc is on, were basically three laps used soft tires. You'd think Leclerc would have an advantage on Max. Noted Albon and Bortolello. So there was an incident with Albon and Bortolello. That's what happened. And it's noted for causing a collision. So Bortolello is 15th. Albon is 20th. So he took the brunt of that collision. And they're not going to do no further investigation. They're going to call that a racing incident at this point and not investigating further on that collision between those two drivers. Oh, Vero, someone was asking about they would hope that Max was first and the Ferrari second, third. That would then mean that the Papaya would be fourth and fifth, and it's someone's scenario they wish to happen. We were talking about Vero. It's not that that's my prediction of what will happen. If you're having some issue with the stream being a little bit choppy, I just refreshed everything and everything's fine. So just a quick refresh and they'll solve your issues. Champion is on it. Max will make up points. The championship is on. I mean, Max has already made up points. He's already got 8 points on Williams today already. He's leading this race. Leclerc is second. I mean, that's huge points already there. If Hamilton can pass Norris, that the question is where are the papayas coming in if Max wins? It's about damage consideration at this point. Again, you're listening to the Race 60 channel. We're on lap 4 of 56. 53 laps to go in this race right now. This is Grash with you live with our coverage. Over on YouTube, we just hit 147,000 subscribers. Thank you so much to you, the Race Statistics Army. Got a good number over in Twitch chat as well. Thank you for those over there as well. Max right now has a 2.5 second gap on Leclerc, so he's basically has gone out ahead. So the question is, battle really right now is in second, third, fourth, fifth, and then how that's playing out. Oscar's dropped back out of DRS range. He's fifth right now. He's dropped out of DRS range to Hamilton. Hamilton is on the outs, just inside DRS range. He's 0.95, 0.8 to Norris. Norris, though, is still within range of Leclerc. He's stalking him right now. George says, everything's just max, max, max. I mean, right now, see, Weiss is a lap behind. That's interesting. So does look like there's a delay right now with our internet with our timing screen versus actually. So just bear with that. If you're watching F1 TV, you are probably a lap ahead of us right now for that reason. We just started lap 5 on our timing screen. Max right now coming to turn 1 and into the curves of sector 1. Again, one of the big factors today is the wind. Wind right now not so strong, but could pick up at any moment. Has been strong very much throughout the weekend, but today, where had been southeast easterly, we're going from a westerly direction today with the wind. So it's a very different direction than they were racing yesterday in quali previously. The other factor here is that we are under a heat advisory, a heat race, basically, like we were in Singapore. So drivers are using the cooling vests. Well, again, welcome to Texas. I'm living a few hours north of Austin. I had a week where my temperatures were 100 degrees, so that was 34, 35 degrees Celsius and higher for a whole week. So um, welcome to Texas. All I can tell you is that having lived here for a while now, I'm used to those temperatures. So I'd rather have those. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather have those temperatures rather than snow. Quite honest. We're waiting for the pit stops. It's going to be a while. Oh, we have someone off the track. Who is it? It is one of the Williams. It's Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz has. Where is he? So we're going to be under a yellow flag in a moment right now. And they're going to a virtual safety car because that's mostly because Sainz stopped in front of an exit, an area where they could roll that car off the grid pretty quickly. So Sainz will be a DNF. What happened to Sainz? Oh, he hit. Oh, teammates. Uh, look at right now. So it was between Sainz and Antonelli. So Antonelli is going to be out as well. So is Sainz. Yeah, there was a collision with Antonelli and Carlos, and that took. So we saw Sainz go out. Looks like Antonelli might have been able to get back to the pits. He may continue going, but there was damage. Right now we're under a virtual safety car because there was a collision between Sainz and Antonelli. Albon's going to take advantage and is going to pit right now. Yeah, I know the map is a lap behind. We're trying to work on that at the moment. So just keep your imagine. So can you imagine Singapore at May or June with high temp, humid 34 degrees? I mean, you're basically describing Houston, Zanuck. I mean, the benefit of where being in Austin, we're in the middle of the state. We're far enough away from the coastline, so we're not getting the humidity. But if we were in Houston, Galveston, St. Louis, not St. Louis, um, Louisiana, New Orleans. Thank you. If we were across the coastline, we would get that humidity. Yeah, no. If we were in May or June or July in Austin, we'd be closer to 105 to 110 Fahrenheit. So after a few laps, they did get Sainz's car off the track. It looks like Antonelli is still continuing. He's now dropped to 19th. Albin has Albin has basically, due to pitting, dropped back to 19th. We're at lap 9. We have gone green flag again. So Stewart's have said that Ocon moving for signal. So this, I guess, a false start. It looks like will not be investigated. And Sainz is out of his car. He's already back to the paddock area. He's looking okay. So the good, while he may have had that incident, fact that he's safe is probably the most important thing of concern right now. Sainz had a collision with Antonelli. Did Sainz crash? Christ did not. He had a collision with Antonelli, and that is what taken him out of the race. That's unfortunate right now. Sonoda right now, again, big mover. He again yesterday had um, went from, I believe, 17th to 8th. Today he's already moved up 6 places from 13th to 7th, so he's in the points already. So huge recovery drive on Sonoda already in this race. Big loser again. Antonelli collision with Sainz. He's dropped 11 places. He was already out of the points. He's now down. Actually, he was in the points. He's now out of the points at 18th. Then we've got Russell losing a place, Norris losing a place on the first lap. Big movers right now. Again, Snowda up 6 places, and then Stroll up 4 places. Isaac up 3. Borrell up 3. And then we've got Leclerc, Hamilton, Oscar moving up a place each. So is, yes, it is lagging right now. I've paused my F1 TV. Um, I'm actually waiting for the stream to match up to where I've paused on. So incident involving Antonelli and Sainz will be investigated after the race, causing a collision. For 6 degrees, track is damp. Yeah, that's very hot. But that's For someone who lives in Texas, that's normal for us through the summer again, and I've said that multiple times. So those who are watching F1 TV, again, we are lagging right now. Again, F1, again, several laps. The F1 TV is several laps ahead of us right now. We're currently right now on lap 10, and that's where I'm going to be broadcasting from at this point. I've actually stopped my F1 stream to let so I get synchronized between what's being shown on TV and what's being shown on the timing board right now. And I suspect this is happening to everyone across the internet right now. It's not just us. So just don't. If you said someone else, they're probably having the same problems we are. So right now, Max is still leading the race. He extended his lead to 2.7, so another 2/10 on Leclerc. Norris is 1.8 behind Leclerc. Hamilton is 1.4. So they've spread out in the top six already. They're already spread out. The only one who's close in DRS range is Borel on Gasly, and then Stroll on Colapino. So we're talking 12, 13, 14, 15 is where the fight right now is in this race. Mark, let's get some crashes. No more boring race. Oh, you just missed an incident, dude. You just missed Antonelli and Sainz having a collision. Patience is a virtue. Definitely be mad, Steve. Max 55 points behind Oscar. That is correct because he picked up 8 points yesterday on the sprint race. So him Max picking up more points here now is going to be huge. Again, Leclerc just the fact that Leclerc is second is going to be a huge is going to be a huge it's going to be huge for that championship fight. Right now on lap 11 of 56. We just need him double McLaren disaster clause. We saw that yesterday. Well, I mean, it wasn't really their fault. I mean, they were lined up three wide with Alonso, Hulkenberg, and Oscar, and Lando was just the incident bystander of what happened, unfortunately. Black Box needs to be around lap 13, 14. It depends on who it is. I mean, Leclerc could probably go another 2 laps at least. Maybe 3, 5 is starting to push it. But he's definitely out of operating window of that soft tire. So Leclerc will be most likely one of the earliest pits. He's again how far they push that soft tire. We'll see if they're going to try a one-stop strategy. Maybe we'll see. Oh, Albon went from hards to mediums. So that collision shredded those hard tires on Albon. That's huge. That's very huge. I mean, his race is yeah. It was already starting from the back already. That collision with Denali is just taking him out of contention in any shape or form. So like we're refreshing our map and our data right now. So hold on, those who are watching. Currently on lap 13. Leclerc now 4 seconds behind Max, and Norris is 1.1 behind Leclerc. Hamilton is like almost 2 seconds off of Norris, and then Oscar's 3 seconds off. So that these are intervals are getting bigger at the top of the race. Lando has gained about 0.73, about 7 off on Leclerc over the past 2 races. What's up with the screen? We're just having issues today. I'm not sure why. I'm not on the technical side of things. I can't tell you what's going on, but I can tell you if we're having issues like this, everyone's having issues because it's more about the downstream of the data than what's going. It's really more about downstream data at this point. So Russell is saying that looks like Oscar might be struggling with his front left. So look the potential of where Oscar right now. Russell is a second and a tenth off of Oscar at the moment. See if he makes a charge at him again. DRS range. Again, the big story so far is that Max has gotten head in this race. Leclerc has gotten ahead of Norris on the first lap. Russell has dropped 2 places. That moves Hamilton and Oscar up 1 place each. Tsunoda has moved up 6 places. He's currently only 2.2 behind Russell right now. And it looks like Norris has gained another tenth on Leclerc right now. He is in DRS range now. So that's going to be an interesting battle. They're coming around 1920 to the line into the next DRS zone. And Lando will have DRS on Leclerc as he goes through. Our world right now, Max is out ahead by several seconds, 4.2. We've got Leclerc and Norris fighting, getting into a potential fight in the next lap or so. Hamilton is by himself right now, a few seconds apart. Then we've got Oscar, Russell, and then we got Tsunoda with Behrman and Hulkenberg. Alonso's by himself, and then we got Lawson, Gasly, Borletto, then Stroll, Colpine and Ocon are together, and then you got Isaac by himself, Anthony by himself, and Alpine in his own world right now. So the question right now, how long? And part of the reason why Lando is gaining on Leclerc right now is because he's on soft tires. Used soft tires, like 2 extra laps. So it's 16 used laps on lap 14. So he's out of the operating range of those tires where Lando started on new medium. And here we go. Leclerc right now defending like heck. Lando's got coming on the inside. He's doing switcheroo. Leclerc just not giving him the room or the space to make the overtake. And Lando basically does back off on that fight. Yeah, Lando had his front wheels even with Leclerc's back wheels for a little bit. So we're on lap 15 right now. See how things go at the moment. Ooh, this is a new feature. They're showing the lines each of these drivers are taking. Right now, Lando's tucked behind Leclerc. Little deviation, but not much. And it looks like Leclerc is getting an advantage on Lando right now and through those curves. Again, Lando's still within DRS range in that DRS zone. So he's getting that advantage on those two straights when he gets them. I want to thank the over 8,199 who are watching right now on YouTube and the over 100 or so who are watching on Twitch. Thank you so much. Again, if you're watching after the fact on demand, thank you as well. Again, right now, as we are turn 15, turn 16, sorry, lap 15, 16. Max is out ahead over 2.2 seconds. That's another 7/10 since I last reported on him. Again, Norris and Leclerc are right now fighting right now. Lando was in range and was close to make an overtask, but couldn't make it. That has allowed Hamilton to get up closer with those two fighting. Max so far he can afford a tea break and scone, Pete. Just make sure you give him a scone. We are all about hard work and scones, as we say here, as my friend Scott. I think Scott's still in chat. As we're at now, Max is starting the second sector in lap 16. He's got a 6.3 jump on Leclerc. So this is expanding. Uh, this is classic Max, as we would say at this point. He did this at the GT Nürburgring, and the drivers there didn't know what to do. And they had never seen anyone drive like Max and take such a lead. For him, he got over a minute and 6 seconds ahead of everyone, which is a massive. That would have been like a 2 minute for here. That would be like 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds in terms of a lap. Hard tires seem slow. It's hard to say because the ones who are using the hard tires. I mean, Albon had to switch out because of his collision, and then we've got Ocon and Isaac 15th, 16th, who are in the back. So right now we are on lap 17 of 56, 40 laps to go in this race right now. If you are watching an F1 TV, basically you are probably ahead of us. So please don't spoil us. Again, we're dealing with a issue with the map is lagging, and we're doing what we can. I've paused my stream to stay consistent with the timing screen that we have at the moment. How did Sainz DNF? He had a collision with Antonelli. That's the one big thing that's happened so far this race in terms of incidents. Sainz went out. Antonelli managed to stay in, though he has lost 10 spots. Now, he did lose 11. He's now managed to get past Albon for 17th. Given the lead that Max has right now, this could be, if he does win this race, it could be very much a grand slam for him. Norris had a lap time deleted on lap 15, so it was 2 laps ago. And that's important to note because if he gets multiple of these off-track notices, at some point it will be a penalty. Yeah, right now Sonoda is our big mover right now, up 6 places, and then he did that pretty quickly on those first opening laps. He's right now between Russell is ahead of him by 3.1 seconds, and Behrman's behind him by almost 2 seconds. So it's right now Sonoda probably our driver of the day if we're going by improvement. Now we're on lap 18 with 59 laps to go in this race right now. Again, our biggest point of contention right now at the front is Leclerc and Norris. Again, Norris is back in DRS range. He's 0.7 behind Leclerc. The next one closest would be Stroll and Gasly. He's been that way for a while, though. What chances does Hamilton have to take over Norris? He's got to get closer to Norris, first of all. He has been getting closer, but he needs to like cut that gap by like 0.6 to get in DRS range. And one way that could happen is that Leclerc and Norris start fighting again. Again, right now we're on lap 19 of 56. Norris is getting closer to Leclerc right now. Again, some of you are going to be ahead. Here's Norris. Norris on the inside of Leclerc on the outside. The switcheroo on the inside. And goes. Norris is going on the wide on the turn 13. Doesn't make it. He's still behind Leclerc. Leclerc gets about a car length. Norris stalking again. Now on turn 15. Hamilton, unfortunately, has fallen back in that fight, so he hasn't gotten closer. Now coming back to turn 1 between Norris and Leclerc. Hamilton's in view, but he's just out of range. Now he's jumped up to 1.1, so he's closed that gap significantly. He needs to close it even more. He's another 2/10 to really be in range. Lando's right now 0.7 back. Yeah, guys, can you not we're currently on lap 20, not 20. I understand that F1 TV is ahead of us right now. Please don't put spoilers in the chat. Thank you. So right now, Lando is stalking. They're in turn 13, 14 right now. Lando is back in range, stalking range. He's waiting for Leclerc to make a mistake right now. Hamilton has gotten much closer. Following on with Lando right now. Right now on turn 20, coming to the start-finish line. Lando right now is still stalking Clerk. Norris has gone off the track again. I'm not sure where, but he's given the black and white flag. I know you guys said that in chat a couple times. Right now, still behind Leclerc. Hamilton right now is just out of DRS range. He needs to be like 4 or 5 tenths in. Here he goes. Lando making his move, and he does it on the outside of Leclerc. But Lando moving into second place right now. Leclerc right now stalking Lando. He might try. He's trying to make a move, take the position back, but I don't know if the tires are there. No, Lando's pulling ahead. Lando's got like a couple of car lengths. In fact, Hamilton is about halfway between Lando and Clerk. Clerk is falling back. Max isn't a full pit stop ahead, but he's got almost 10 seconds now. 10 seconds on the field right now. So again, right now, Max is 10 seconds ahead of everyone. So right now, as things stand, Max is gonna earn has got 25 points right now in his position. Lando is going to 18, and then Max is going to get Oscar is going to get 10. That's a 15-point jump, another 15-point jump on Oscar, and that's huge. Norris is it's gonna be 15 points on. Again, this is adding so seven right now plus 8 of the sprint. That's 15 points on top of who's going on right here. And the Ferraris are fighting right now. Are close side by side to each other. And I think that's Hamilton's trying to get ahead of Clerk. And I don't know why they're doing this. They should have told Leclerc to let Hamilton go by because he's on medium tires. He's on soft tires. Use soft tires. I don't know why Ferrari's doing this. So again, Max has already earned 8 points. With Norris in second, that's 25 versus 18. That's a 7-point gain on Lando. And then on Oscar, it's going to be 25 versus 10, another 15 points. So it's going to be 23 points total this weekend on Oscar. That's huge. And that's, again, those 8 points from the sprint are going to be huge. Again, we've got another. So that's going to bring. So where it was 55, it's another 15. Now we're at 40 points difference between Lando and Max with 5 races to go and more sprint races to be had. Yeah, we do have standards in our community. Just going to point out right now, if you're going to call someone a terrorist in our chat, you're just going to be tossed because that's gross. It's unacceptable, and we're not going to put up with that. I know some YouTuber in the UK came up with that baloney, but we have standards here. Moving back to the race right now, Oscar is not going to DNF. Please, guys, come on, guys, stop putting you guys are putting BS in chat. Please stop it. No clue what a fan code subscription is. Probably something not related to F1. So, who's the most probably to win? I mean, it's still Max. Also, around getting on Oscar right now. He is. I mean, he's far. He's 2.3 seconds back. Hamlin has dropped back to, and it looks like Leclerc has pitted. Yeah, he's gone to a set of medium tires. So Hamilton has taken third. Oscar is in fourth right now, but we'll see how that goes in terms of the pit order. Again, I don't have a TV in my house too. I'm just watching on my computer. I've got F1 TV, which will eventually be Apple TV next year, unfortunately. And I've got the stream up. I'm watching on Twitch. I've got YouTube up as well. And we can only watch F1 on fan code. Then that's where you are watching it. Grandson wants to get a Grand Slam. He could potentially get a Grand Slam. He's now leading. I mean, he's got maintaining his tires well. He's basically in clean air. Norris essentially has clean air at this point, being ahead where he is now. Yeah, Clerk has pitted, so he's now P9. Max probably watching Netflix. Got a €5 donation from Wyndham Sandoval. Thank you, with a fire emoji. Thank you so much. Ocon is pitting right now. Warlow pitted 9 laps ago. Albon had to pit again because of the collision. Mac needs to pit soon. So do most of I mean, so very much everyone P1 through P9. So that's Hulkenberg up to Max. Are on the same set of fresh medium tires. So it looks like it may be. They could be trying for a one-stop strategy. If they go further, like they go another six laps, then it's go bolt on a set of hards and go do a one-stop strategy. Again, one-stop strategy has been the norm here in Texas for a long time. Pirelli is trying to get them to do a two-stop strategy, and that is basically by virtue, the C1 is our hard tire, our C3 again is the medium tire, and C4 is the soft tire. Again, notably Stroll has gone 23 laps on the soft tire. Right now, where Max is coming to the end, and for me right now on the screen is at the end of Sector 2, starting Sector 3 on lap 25. I understand that we do have a delay with our stream right now. I don't know what is causing that. If we're having a delay like this, other people are also having a delay as well. So it's not just us who are having this issue. Max is now coming around turn 20, start lap 26. 31 laps to go in this race right now. Oh, we do have a chance of a safety car to shorten gaps between Lando and Max. A safety car is possible, but it would probably be sometime between now and the next 10 laps for that to happen. And the reason for that, basically, we need to basically drivers know what to expect with the tires they have right now. The issue it really is that they need to get onto new tires, fresher tires that may not be up to temperature and to speed, and that will bring us into a scenario that could cause an incident. They're also so spread apart. There's no one really fighting for anything at the moment. I mean, we just, I mean, Albon is now in DRS range of Colapino, but he's still 0.8 back at the moment. The closest that we were was Leclerc, who pitted. So it's just a matter of time right now before we get into that pit order. Hamilton just got a lap deleted, so that would be his first of the race. So keep an eye on that. Lando right now has already two or three track limits already. They've already given the black and white flag, so any more will end up being most likely a penalty. Yeah, guys, if you can't stand the delay, you just go and I apologize, but you should probably just go do something else. Watch the delay after the fact. Honest saying, it sucks that we don't have the bonus point for fast lap. Actually, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really matter. That fastest lap point went to everyone on the grid. It didn't really, like, people at the bottom. People were pitting who were not in contention were pitting and taking fastest lap. Um, and doing so in a way that they were out of the points anyway, so they would end up um, not getting the point at all. So it really became an irrelevant point. So Max right now on lap 27 has basically said that the tires are becoming tricky, and the engineer is saying that the conditions are changing at the moment. Do you think Max could lap Ocon? He potentially could, but we'll see that in about 10, 15 laps. Franco Pino and Albon, ooh, he came close. Albon went on the inside of Franco to make his pass. Ooh, very, only a few centimeters between those two. Mike asking why people were seeing the race to see who will win because it's easy to look at only at the front of the race, and that's a lot of people just look at the front of the race and don't look at anything else going in the back of the race because there's other fights, other things going on. So right now we're in the race is stabilized. There are huge gaps right now. We haven't gotten our majority of our pit stops haven't happened yet. As this goes longer, as this goes, if it goes into like lap 33, 34, 35, then we're looking at, I mean, we're halfway through the race and, majority, 1 through 7 are on medium tires. So we're looking at a one-stop strategy at some point with these guys. Yeah, Max is not pitted. Norris so is Norris, Hamilton, Oscar, Russell, Sonoda, and Behrman. They're the top 7 right now. Clerk is 8th. They have pitted 5 laps ago, but they started on soft tires. Hulkenberg is on a medium strategy. So is Alonso, but his tire is 1 lap used to scrub that scrub medium we saw on Monday. Clerk passed Behrman right now. And we've got Alonso and Lawson on the medium strategy right now. Stroll right now still on a soft tire, 27 laps. When I guess they're still getting performance out of that tire. So it looks like the only people who are softs is Stroll, who started on soft, and Gasly, who pitted for that. So it looks like Gasly's on a two-stop strategy because he's gone to a soft tire. I don't expect that soft tire to last the entire race at this point. You guys, I don't have an indication Norris pitted yet. Again, you guys might be ahead of us, so just keep. And Isaac did a 2.4 stop. Looks like Yuki fighting with Leclerc right now. It looks like Leclerc getting ahead of Yuki right now. So, going to give you guys a heads up that we're going to try and restart the application that we're using. So we will be down for a little bit. I will keep you up to date as I'm watching on F1 TV. To notice coming to the pit. Notice pitted. He's gone to soft tires, and there's a 3.4 stop time to Yuki. So again, right now our screen is down at the moment as we're trying to solve an issue with why we're lagging so badly. We're trying to reset the application completely and get it fresh, up to date information. Yeah, radio. I mean, two different applications going on with that process, Martin. Um, that was the last race control message for Hamilton, so that's nothing new. Yeah, again, we're trying to get it back up to live right now as things go on. As it stands right now, Max is about 9.7, almost 10 seconds ahead of Norris right now. Hamilton is 7 seconds back. Oscar's coming in for a pit stop. He's being told the box right now. McLaren's getting ready for that. Is F1 TV worth it? It was. The question is, F1 TV still going to be available in your country? You might want instead to wait. I mean, if you want to write out the rest of the year, F1 TV is definitely worth it if it's available in your country. The big issue is that it will not be available. Like for me in the United States, it will not be available for me because F1 is moving to Apple TV for broadcast. Okay, replay of Russell right now. What's going on? Russell went wide. Front lockup. Okay, on turn 12. That's what we're looking at. There's a better shot of that. Again, right now we're on lap 31 of 56. It's 26 laps to go. Again, we are lagging, so we're not in sync with F1 TV. So just be aware of that. ultimately, if we look back at what's happened so far, Sainz is the only one out of this race right now. Had a collision with Antonelli early on in the race. Yeah, we're starting to get our first hits. Alonso basically has pitted to use softs. So let's just see right now. Leclerc is the one of the front runner. He's on a medium tire. He's in the best operating range of that tire right now. He's past Hulkenberg and Oscar. Oscar has pitted for new soft tires. That's interesting. Snowda has pitted for soft tires. Bierman's pitted for soft tires. So I'm wondering if we're getting a two-stop strategy because of those soft tires. Still, right now, Max, Norris, Hamilton, Russell lead top four have not pitted yet, and I've been on have started on medium tires. Hamilton coming into the pits right now. Antonelli is pitted, and his stop is a 2.6. If you guys have questions, please make sure you drop them in chat. No, racing fan. What's going to happen is that it's going to go all directly over to F1 TV itself. Norris coming into pit. He's going to soft tires. 3.8 stop time. These are slow stops. Very, very, very a lot of. It's very weird. A lot of these pits are slow. Like a second more than expected. Max is now coming into the box. This might put Russell in the lead, maybe. We'll see. Clearing this is. Is it mandatory two stop? No, it's only a mandatory one stop. So the rules is that you are required to use two different compounds during a race. So there's a required stop. Hmm? Just something said in chat. But ultimately, so here comes Max coming in the pits right now. What are they putting on for the tires? And he's going to soft tires. So Max is a 2.6 stop, which is slow, but not crazy. Russell's going to come in to pit. Here comes Russell. It's clean. He's on to softs as well. 2.3, so a 3/10 gain. Here comes Hulkenberg coming into the pits. The 2.4 stop for Hulkenberg. So, not great pit stops, but ultimately, like Max is going to get a couple of tenths advantage on Norris. As it stands right now, it looks like Leclerc has gotten ahead of Lando based on the fact that he stayed on track and it has advantage. So as it stands right now, Max is first, Leclerc is second, Norris is third, Hamilton is fourth, and Oscar's fifth. So we're back where we were like 15 laps ago before Leclerc. The yellow flag. Beerman right now looks like. See if he gets back on track. He's moving again. So it looks like Beerman went off track. So it's a yellow flag for him going off track and coming back on. So we have black and white, yellow flag. Borrell from you guys in chat. Thank you so much for reporting that. Oh, let's take a look at that again. Beerman and Yuki were going at it, and it looks like. Take a look at what happened. Beerman goes on the inside, went off track. Yeah, so Beerman tried to pass Yuki, and it just goes wrong, and he turns, and he ends up losing places. Why Alex was 7 laps? What story? He had a collision with Antonelli, and it looks like it punctured those hard tires, and that's why he's gone from hards to mediums. .39. Yeah, and basically Beerman, he's claiming that Yuki moved under braking, but he's on the curves. He was trying to go on the inside, and there was no room. Oh wow, we are 36. Yeah, we're up to speed now. Maybe just a little bit. Is Antonelli car okay? That was yes, Antonelli car is okay. That was lap around 7. I mean, Antonelli right now is 14th. He was up higher before pit order happened. So we're now jumped. For those who have been dealing with our lag, we just managed to jump up to lap 40. So we've just basically jumped 5 laps ahead. So right now, Leclerc is second. Norris is behind him. Norris has advantage on tires at the moment. Now, Norris would they're using used tires. That's what happened. So he's got 13 laps on those tires already. Hamilton has 10 laps on his soft tires. Oscar 12. Max has the tire advantage with 8 on his softs. That's going to be huge. Yeah, guys, you guys, please, you don't need to tell us about the spammers. We catch them as fast as possible, but there's a delay when we catch them before YouTube basically pulls them from chat. So give it a moment; they will disappear. Albin's getting a black and white flag. I'm not sure where you guys are getting the black and white. Black and white flag for track limits for Antonelli. That's the last race control message. Again, thank you for sticking around with us with that problem with the. Again, we're now up to speed. Again, we are a racing motorsports channel, so if you're very far off topic, you will be pulled from chat. Thank you so much. Max is being told how Lando is complaining about tires. What happened to Sainz? So again, on turn lap 5, there was an incident with Sainz and Antonelli, and that took out Sainz completely. Again, our big mover in this race has been Tsunoda. He's up 6 places. He was up 7 places earlier, but he started 13th. He's now 7th. So he's being outside the points to inside the points. Yeah, and the part of the issue is that Lando has a 5 lap as tires he put on are 5 more have been used 5 more laps than Max's tires. It's a 9 versus 14, so it'll be a 10, 15 in a moment. So Max has a huge tire advantage. Hamilton has only got 11 laps on his tires, and again Oscar's got 13, so he's more closer to Max than it is. I mean, closer to Lando than he is to Max in that regards. We are currently on lap 52 of this race. There are 15 laps to go of this 56 lap race here in Austin, Texas. Yeah, Leslie, you're just popping up for the first time on screen as a first time chatter. So welcome to chat anyway. Even if you've been here since the start, welcome to chat anyways. No, it's just that the fact that Max is he's got his laps. So why are Hamilton tires better? It's because he's on a used set of tires that were less used than others. He's got effectively 12 laps on his tires, where Lando has 15, Oscar has 14. The one who's got better tires than him are Max, who's effectively 11 laps on his tires. There again, we're on lap 43, 56, 14 laps to go right now as Max finishes first sector. Meme here, you're new. Welcome to the channel, my friend. If you have any questions, just drop them in chat. If you use @Grashariza, that will highlight my name and will make it easier for you to see what's going on. I'm gonna drop my name in chat for both groups. To see my name, you can use it. Will Max pit again? I don't think so. Because we saw Leclerc go 25 laps on the soft, again, a soft used. We've got another 14 laps to go, and Max has only gone 11 laps. This is a one-stop race. This could very easily a one-stop race with a medium soft, which is what I did not expect. Yeah, I'm expecting that like Max, like they're not pitting again. Who might pit again? Maybe Gasly. Maybe Gasly. Maybe he might be the only one who might pit again. Ocon might pit again. Yeah, those are the only ones. They're not. We're talking people who are outside of the points might pit again. At that point, they're outside of the points. There's nothing to lose by pitting again in terms of position, and that's also considering if they have another tire to use. I think proprietors are going to bite McLaren. It's not going to be matter. It's not going to matter because basically right now, like Hamilton is between the two proprietors. Lap time deleted. That means that the car has gone off the track and has come back on. So that means for that reason their lap time is deleted. Now that would be more detrimental if it was say like qualifications. But what this means is each time they do that, they get closer to the black and white flag. So Antonelli is the last one to have gotten a black and white flag. Lando has gotten one as well, and I think there's one other person who's gotten a black and white flag. So after that, that basically is the last warning saying you've gone off the track too many times. the next time that they do that, they will then get a 5-second penalty. Lots of nerd says, I don't think Max will be B1. How is he not going to win this race, my friend? He's almost 7 seconds ahead of Leclerc. How is he not going to win this race? Max win the championship. I mean, it would be the biggest comeback ever in F1 history, essentially. Max is giving driving lessons today. He was giving driving lessons to the GT guys a few weeks ago at the Nürburgring ring. Well, Max lap Borletto. Trying to find where Borletto is. He might not. It's. We'll have to see where things are in the next 10 laps. He might not. Borletto looks like he's significantly further ahead, and there's no reason the Max to charge that hard to lap Borletto either. Coffin, I mean, Oscar in the current situation in fifth, that will score him 10 points. So that's a 15-point gain on Max will get a 15-point gain. And then that doesn't count also the 8 points he earned earlier already. So Max on the 8-point gain was at like 53 points. That's going to bring him within 28 points effectively. We'll take your driver to P1. Oh boy. You guys are spamming chat. Please stop. You guys are getting timeouts. So the gap is going to be around 30 somewhat. Yeah, it's going to be around 30 somewhat points. I think 38 points. Well, I'll have to do the math later to when the race is over. It's not a stupid question. Can they mix tires like soft on the front, medium? No, it's the same set of tires for all. They can't mix and match the tire types. It's when you put a set of tire on, it's the fourth set of tires possible. Is a Grand Slam possible? Yes, Grand Slam is. Max has led the entire race. Started from pole, led the race. He's got to win the race. Fastest lap doesn't matter anymore. So he would effectively be a Grand Slam effectively now. No, Max is not going to stop It's not going to stop. He's going to go to the end of the race on those soft tires. We've got 10 laps to go. I mean, he's only got his tires have been used only 15 laps. We saw Leclerc do 25 laps on a soft tire. And he's got a 6.6 lead on Leclerc has a 6.6 lead. So what advantage and Leclerc's tires are at 24. They're at the end of their lives as well. So I mean, effectively, it's a push in terms of tire advantage between those two. I mean, it's going to be more interesting with Lando going. He's on 20 laps on his tires. He's going to potentially go to 30 laps on those tires. So that's a question. Will Hamilton overtake him, who has a 3 lap advantage on him? Not likely. Again, not likely. The interval is 10 seconds. I'll take that back. Hamilton's not going to make that on Lando. But yeah, no. I mean, like right now, it's a push in terms of tires. We need better drivers in Alpine. You need a better driver. I don't think Ocon is your problem in Alpine. Where is Ocon? Not Ocon. Gasly is your better driver in Alpine. Antonelli just passed. Speaking of him, Ocon just got passed by Antonelli, though this is for 13th. Stroll is within range of Lawson. Yeah, so any moves right now on the grid will probably be at the back. People out of points. Like Bartolo's close to Colapino, Isis is close to Gasly. Again, Antonelli just passed Ocon, and Stroll is close to Lawson. So that's where action on track will happen in these last few laps. What's your view on the Cadillac lineup? I mean, it's a solid lineup. I mean, Cadillac is going with solid, experienced drivers. Period. I mean, they were, you can't go wrong with Checo and Valtteri as your 2 drivers. They know what they're doing. They're experienced drivers. They've won races, and they've won races. And with Checo, he's won races from behind. So they're going to have 2 solid drivers, and that's what they need right now. That team. That's really what it comes down to. Is that just ultimately they're going with solid experience. And if you're a Checo fan or a Valtteri fan, that's awesome. Again, particularly with Checo, Checo brings a lot of uh, marketing possibilities, and that's going to help the team in terms of money and otherwise that they wouldn't normally else have. £2 donation from Charlie Sterling, Charlie Sweeting, Sweating. I'm not pronouncing if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. My apologies, but thank you so much for the donation, super chat. Asking Pit have a tour of Disneyland and go back and still PP1. There's no Disneyland in this area, that's California, but the closest thing that you have to a amusement park would be Seven Flags. Again, I want to thank everyone who's been here through this race. At some point, we had over 10,000 of you on YouTube. We had over 100 or more with Twitch. Goaty right now giving us the chat goat. Yeah, Yuki for driver of the day, I would say would be. Do I watch F2? I don't watch it religiously. I watch it when I can. Again, sometimes F2 is on like way earlier than I can be up. Like I think they were there at. I think Monza was the last one. So like Monza, I think the last time they were on extremely early. So it's hard to watch F2. And I usually need some time between sessions. So that also, again, I have, and I've done commentary in chat for F2 a couple times. So it's not as religious as I am with F1 or IndyCar. But I do my best to follow F2 because essentially they are our next potential stars. Right now we're on lap 50, 56, 7 laps to go. Do you think we'll get demoted to Red Bull? I think you mean will you get promoted to? Wouldn't be promoted to Red Bull, be promoted to racing. So I think one of the things that's going on with Red Bull and the Racing Bulls is that I suspect this is the last season with Yuki with the Red Bull family, and that's only because he is a Honda driver, and as things is right now, Aston Martin is going to be the Honda Works team effectively. And so what happened with Aston Martin is that they have lost Drogovic, who was their reserve driver. He was an F1 champion who never got a chance to drive an F1. So ultimately, he's left for Formula E. So there's an opening for a reserve driver there. So I suspect Yuki might be that new reserve driver. That opens up a seat in Red Bull. I suspect that Isaac is going to be moved up because he's just performed well. And I know a lot of people don't want that to happen because of the issues, and I understand that. But if the opportunity comes, you take it. So that opens up a seat with Racing Bulls with Liam. Liam will be the other driver, effectively, and I suspect that they'll move up Lindblad to F1 next season. That's what I think. That's how I see things right now. It could be very wrong, and again, ultimately, Red Bull's not going to make a decision until after the end of the season anyway. But that's where a potential way this might go with the Red Bull family in terms of their seats. The only other seat that's open right now is the second seat at Alpine. That's Colapino's seat, and it's just a matter of if he earns some points at some time at the end of the season, then he'll probably keep his seat. Otherwise, Alpine has nothing on their plate nothing to lose to to try someone else. And I think Aaron Paul is the other driver that could potentially be in that seat. Now, here's the thing about Colapino. He has a marketing. He's got a huge amount of marketing on him. And as I've been talking, Norris has gone ahead of Leclerc. So Norris is back into P2. Leclerc is P3. Hamilton is up a spot P to P4. Oscar's up a spot P5, and Russell's on P6. Ultimately, that's the start. The biggest gainer is Yuki Tsunoda P6. Again, we've got 5 laps to go. Again, we've got huge gaps right now, and no one's trying to push. They're trying to maintain their tires to the end of this race. Yet no one. The problem is no one is. They all went for a one-stop strategy, and that's that's the problem that we're dealing with right now. Is that the top six teams, 6, 7, 8, 9, they all did a one-stop strategy. The only difference was that Leclerc went on softs first and then medium second, and that's pretty much where the only difference in the top 10. And Pirelli was trying to get them to go onto like a 2-stop strategy. And if they really wanted that, they probably should have moved, the hard maybe be a C2 and then do a C4, C5. Like really push the compounds. You guys think Max will win the Drivers' Championship? He has the potential to win it. He has to earn significant points on the papayas, and he's done that already this weekend. Again, with Norris right now between P1, P2, that's 7 points, and then plus another 8 because of the sprint. It's a total of 15 points this weekend. With Oscar right now, it's P1 to P5. That's 25 versus 10 points, so it's a 15-point gain. And then on top of that, that's a total of 23 points this weekend gain on Oscar. And Max needed to get about 10 points every weekend. He's been getting that and more on these guys. Again, the sprint race gave him an opportunity to get a whole bunch of points. So that's huge. Huge. Where it was improbable 2 races ago mathematically possible but not likely 2 races ago, has somehow become likely and probable and possible. And now it is get out your popcorn, gather around, let's watch the show, because now these next 5 races are going to be extremely interesting because Max is on a charge. And that's all I can say. Max, since the summer break, Max is on a summer charge. Again, Norris right now, again, looking at the points position. It was better when you had it bigger. So we don't need to see the last 10 drivers. Again, like, so right now, Oscar right now is leading the championship. He's going to get 10 points, but Max is going to get 25. Russell's going to get 8. Russell and Leclerc are probably dropping out of contention soon. Hamilton, I believe, is out of contention already. So Hulkenberg is going to move up 2 positions by earning 4 points. Now the board's not going to change, but again, we're looking at 306 points versus 32 and 336. Oh, thank you, Micho. I do the best I can. Thank you for YouTube recommending us. We do every session. So we do sprint. We do the practices. We do again this weekend. It was the sprint quality, sprint race, and then again, if it was a normal weekend, it would be FP1, FP2, FP3, and then we do quali and we do the race itself. We have done preseason testing. We will see how preseason goes next year because who knows how it's going to go with Apple TV in the mix. Has Max pitted all right? Yes. So the pits have been we've done all our pits. We are about 2 laps to go now. Max and the Alpines are fighting. Colpino's going to get ahead of Gasly, and he should because he's got better tires than him at this point. I'm not sure why it matters too much, other than pride. He's still 6 seconds off of Isaac, so it's not like he's going to make up that time on him. Albon right now is in DRS range of Ocon. He's 3/10. He might pass him in the next moment. Yes, Bartolotto has been passed. So it doesn't. So the Alpines just switched their places, and now they're getting blue flags from for Max. So Gasly's now been lapped. Colpino will be the next one to be lapped. Isaac right now is 16th. He's about to be lapped. So we're getting those last few laps being people being lapped. Oh, Papaya going to have sleepless nights. Oh, absolutely. Max leaving their heads free. Oh, it's been this way for the past 2 races already. Absolutely. Max now finally passing Colapino. Franco getting past. So Alpine and a stake slash Sauber. Gasly's been passed by Bortoletto. Again, this is just bragging rights at this point. They're all been lapped. They're at the not earning points. So we are on the final lap right now. This is the final lap. Max again is ahead by 7 seconds. Clerk is next gap is 6. The next gap is 9. Next gap is 5. So they've spread out over these last few races. I know this is not some of you. This is not what you expected for a race. I understand that. Wish there were more overtakes. Wish there was more fighting at the front. Max is not going to get a DSQ. Stop saying that people should get DSQs. Crying out loud. Max is now in sector 3 on his final lap. So as things is, Colapino, Barrel, Gasly will not do their final lap because they will finish behind Max. Until he has the fastest lap, he will not get, again, there's no points for fastest lap, so. And here comes Max right now. And here we go. Max Verstappen is going to win the United States Grand Prix. He's going to take those 25 points. Lando has finished second. Leclerc is going to fill out the podium with P3. Got another 12 seconds, 13 seconds to Hamilton. Then another 2 seconds for Oscar. Hamilton has finished fourth, Oscar fifth. Again, the only driver who did not finish was Sainz. It was a lap 5 incident with Antonelli. And that will be investigated after the session, apparently. Russell's kind of come in sixth. Sonoda seventh. So a huge recovery drive for Sonoda again today. Hulkenberg on the in points, 2 points. No, it's going to be 4 points. And then Behrman picking up 2 points in ninth, and then Alonso picking up the last point. So again, our top order, our podium is Max, Norris, Charles, Hamilton, Oscar, Russell, Sonoda, Hulkenberg, Behrman, Alonso getting points. Our next 7. We're just waiting for Ocon and Isaac to cross the line at this point, and this race will be over. Who got driver of the day? That's a good question. I haven't shown that on yet. Yeah, another impressive drive by Max Verstappen. I mean, this is classic Max Verstappen dialed into domination mode. I mean, this is what we saw in 2023 and beginning of 2024. No, 7 points on Norris, 15 points on Oscar. And that doesn't count the 8 points he scored on them because of the sprint race as well. So again, it's actually 15. So for the weekend, it's 15 points on Norris and 23 points on Oscar. That's particularly for Oscar. That's huge. That's a huge jump. That was twice. We were talking possibly if Max gets about 10 points. No, he just scored 23 points on Oscar. That's a huge jump. I think it's around 38. He's under 40 points now with 5 races to go. So that makes it even more possible. And that also doesn't count. We also have more sprint races. I think we're on our 4th. Yeah, there's I think Qatar and I want to say Brazil is our other sprint race. So we have 2 more sprint races and 5 GPs to go. It is possible. It is possible for Max Verstappen to take the World Drivers' Championship. So I didn't see who driver of the day was. All right. So at this point right now, I am going to. It looks like. Boss a quick question of how he wants to handle something. Again, this is going to be pretty much at the end of the day for me per se at this moment. Okay. There we go. All right. So we've got race predictions. So let's see. Did someone get driver of the day? Because I don't think they've shown it yet. So we've been doing a race prediction again right now. Um, so we both predict. So there's a wash. Basically, we both predicted Verstappen, and he did win. So a point for both us and the boss. Team points. Boss went with McLaren, and McLaren scored only 8 points, whereas McLaren scored 28 points. So we get a point on that. Um, red flags. Boss predicted 2. We got 1. It ended up being a wash because there were no red flags. I told you guys to pick 0. I told you guys to pick 0. And 42% of you picked 1 red flag. Come on, guys. DNFs 3. We both only 1 happened, so we were both wrong. And then driver of the day is boss picked Alonso, Verstappen on our side. It looks like Charles got driver of the day. So ultimately, we get the win, but based on team points, it's now 1-1. Boss won at last. Won at the last one. So we won this one. So it's a 1-1 tie right now in terms of as we stand so far. Yeah, they're saying Charles on the F1 website. They didn't show it on race on TV, which is I'm not sure why. It should have said something at least. Anyways. So yeah, that's our race predictions. Our next, when will we be next? Let's bring up my calendar because calendar. So we will be back next Friday at it'll be 1:30 Central Time. Yeah, so it'll be Friday the 24th, and this will be for the free practice 1 for the Mexico Grand Prix. We know already that Lindblad will be in for Max for FP1, and there'll be and I know there's a couple other drivers. I suspect that Pato Award will be in for one of the drivers at McLaren, and so that's something that when we get to that practice, I will have a list of who's in for what and who they are. So it'll be a fun time for FP1 in Mexico when we got some rookie drivers to look at. For everyone here at Racing Family, this has been our coverage of the race right now. Again, Max won, took P1, but Leclerc, Norris got into P2, Leclerc got into P3, Hamilton P4, and Oscar got P5. That's again a huge jump on points. Max right now is at 306, Norris is 332, and Oscar is only 346. So it's a 40-point difference between Max and Oscar with 5 races to go and 2 sprint races, and only 28. No, 26 points difference between Max and Norris for P2. So huge, basically huge. This weekend has been a huge turning point in the championship fight. So again, we'll be back next Friday. Get your popcorn ready, get your soda ready, because we're here to watch and see what happens. Again, for everyone at the Racing Statistics channel, for everyone here, I want to thank who watched. If you're watching on demand, thank you so much. We will see you next week. Take care, everyone.